shark, bite like a great white. I'm a shark, bite like a great white. I'm a shark, bite like a great white. Gas, no brakes, I'ma take mine. My team looking like we got 6 rings. Back up all the shit, I'm talking all big things. My team looking like we got 6 rings. Back up all the shit, talking all big things. I'm a shark, bite like a great white. I'm a shark, bite like a great white. I'm a shark, bite like a great white. Gas, no brakes.
Welcome to another edition of the Joe Call Show. And Coach, it was a big win last week, 52-0 over North Charleston. What are your key takeaways?
Yeah, coming off the Bishop England game, we had a lot of penalties against Bishop England and some turnovers. So we really went into last week, put that extra emphasis on, just playing a clean game. And we went out, we had 0 penalties.
That's
which
amazing.
Was nice. That's amazing.
Last week you said you tried to cut it in half. You did a lot better, huh?
Yeah, we cut them all the way out. And then turnovers, we didn't have any turnovers. So we were able to really execute in all 3 phases of the game and really, it felt like we came out of there, having played a clean game, not a real, it wasn't sloppy. We executed on offense, defense, and actually held them for negative yards. So that was nice.
And of course, the player of the game was Vaughn Blue. I think he gained somewhere in the range of 75 or 80 yards.
Right. With our 3 platoon backfield, all 3 backs, really had a good game. But Vaughn really showed from the coaching. We really put in last, really kind of emphasized him, pressing those gaps and really kind of hit the hole, and you could just see it in the film show up on Friday night, which was nice. So, he's really doing a great job. Lamar, too, of taking, those practice reps and showing up on Friday, and then Rhett getting in the end zone as well. So to see all 3 running backs have really big nights, but really, really proud of Vaughn and his attitude and kind of how he's come along. So it was a good night for Vaughn. Really. Being patient with those holes and really kind of hitting them like we knew he could do, just needed to actually see it, and he needed to feel it. So, he got it done. So he was our player of the week.
That offensive line, again, was opening some big holes.
Yeah, they were. They just continue to show out every week, and it's they really kind of getting that good swagger to them. It's that good, they've had it, but it's that mentality to where it's, they know they can go out on the field and really dominate the line of scrimmage. And, with the opponents that we still have in front of us, it's going to take that effort every week, by those guys to show up and dominate the line of scrimmage.
Coach, what's your biggest concern about your offense after the first 2 games of the season? I mean, you've done quite well, but as any good coach, I'm sure there are areas you want to see improved. Yeah,
just, consistency. We want to be consistent, every series. We still have those series where we'll go out there and we'll be 3 and out. Then we're dialing up the punt team and really kind of converting those 3rd downs. We want to be into if we're going to have 3rd downs, those 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, kind of a manageable 3rd downs, but just being more consistent on 1st down. We want to feel like our playbook is wide open on any down and not really become too predictable early in drives and early, whether if it's 1st down or 2nd down. So if we can be kind of more consistent on those downs, that way we can kind of keep a defense on their toes.
Also, I know in the second half of the game you played mostly your JV team, both on offense and defense. Who stood out for you amongst your younger players? Yeah,
I tell you, those guys stepped in, and they were nervous at first to get into a varsity game, but it was great for them to have the opportunity to really step in and kind of break the ice, for those guys, and to actually have the varsity game experience. Because you want your guys to be able to, the more they play at that speed in a varsity game, the quicker they're going to improve. And, really the entire, I was pleased that the offense, even though you could tell they were a little nervous, they executed very well, and the ball wasn't on the ground. It wasn't bad snaps, the entire backfield, they were operating. They weren't stripping the gears, and we even threw a couple passes there. But really the defense, for the defensive guys to really kind of keep the same mentality that our varsity guys had. Just go out there and play with a lot of effort and fly to the football and really ball search, and create turnovers. And they created a couple turnovers, and one of our defensive linemen scooped one up, and he about took it to the end zone for a touchdown. So that kind of stuff's exciting for the whole team, because those guys practice hard, and a lot of times during the week they work real hard to give our varsity a good look, preparation for our next opponent, and to actually see them get to play in a varsity game and have success and look good doing it, and not look like a JV team. They look like a varsity team doing it, so that was nice.
Some of those JV players look like they might be able to contribute by the end of the season to the varsity team.
Right, absolutely, and that's some of the teams in our region with a shortened schedule don't have a JV team, so we're able to dress those kids on a varsity game, and we put them right in there. We include them on the special teams. We put them into the rotation on offense and defense, so they're actually getting reps. And it's if we want to build a program that's going to be year to year, we need to have those guys being competitive on Friday nights and in a varsity game, getting that varsity experience, because you got to have depth, because you never know what's going to happen during the game, and those guys got to be ready to play.
Unfortunately, late in the fourth quarter of that game, one of the North Charleston players was injured. He was down for a long time, taken away by ambulance. I know, you can't give a lot of detail about that, but if you could just let the fans know how he's doing.
Right. I was right there. It happened on our sideline, so I was kind of right there and hearing the conversation. And he was in great spirits, despite his injury. He knew he was hurt, but he was in great spirits, and was relaying messages to his teammates that he was okay, and go play, play hard, play for me, and that kind of stuff. And he hurt his kneecap. He actually fractured his kneecap, and I know he had successful surgery. Their trainer was Scott, our trainer, and actually kind of gave us an update that he had a fractured patella, which is bone right here, your kneecap, and he fractured it, and so they went and did surgery, and it was a pretty basic surgery, and they expect him to make a full recovery.
All in all, that's good news. Let's talk a little bit about Hanahan now. They beat North Charleston by 52-0. I think we beat them 62-0, and then Hanahan dispatched with Battery Creek like 36-0. They haven't given up a touchdown all season. We haven't given up a touchdown all season. Should be a good game.
Yeah, they're watching them on film and really kind of studying them. They're a lot farther ahead on offense than you would think they would be at this point. With as complicated and as there's a lot of timing in their offense, with a lot of guys on the offensive line pulling, a lot of motion, a lot of quarterback exchange with the running backs and stuff, and because there's a lot of deception there. They're trying to make your eyes on defense look one way when the ball is going another, and a lot of times that takes time. But without having a spring practice, with Coach Craig, coming from Timberland, being there and not having much time, those guys have really bought into the system with their offense, and they're executing. Every play is downhill. For our fans that watched us play Timberland last year, Coach Craig was at Timberland. It's a similar offense, and he's got them just as sharp as they were at Timberland, and you can tell on defense they just play like you said. They haven't given up a point. It doesn't matter who you play. If you can have a shutout. You're playing some good defense, and they've done it 2 weeks in a row. So I know with that comes confidence. You start putting up zeros and holding your opponent to 0 points. You start playing with a lot of confidence, and this game is built on a lot of confidence, a lot of momentum, and they certainly have it right now. So it should be a good game. We're hoping to be able to stick with them, but I think our guys are up for the challenge.
Of course, this is the only team I think you're going to play this year that plays that option offense.
Right.
What do you do in terms of preparation for your guys who only see one team that runs a really complicated offense like that?
Yeah, well, really the first thing you do is you go to your starting offense and say, we need your best effort at practice to give our defense a look. And a lot of times you would use, sometimes we've used JV kids, or we've used some guys, backups to kind of simulate our opponent's offense. But this week you go to your starters and say, we need you to practice for a full 2+ hours this week, every single day, to give our defense kind of the best look that you can give them, because it is a different offense. We're not used to, like you said, we have one team on our schedule that runs this type of offense, and so it takes a full focus effort all week. Any coach will tell you that, and a lot of times that's why teams will run an offense like this, because teams don't really take a whole lot of time to prepare for it. So I think our this week I know our offensive guys really stepped up and gave our defense a great look at practice this week, and really we watched film, we studied it, we got in meetings, and really put together a good practice plans, a very organized practice plans for both sides of the ball, but really for our offense to give our defense a great look this week, and try to simulate game speed as much as possible.
How's the health of the team after 2 games?
Good right now. You know, we're I think that's a good tribute to our summer program. You know, we maintained, you know, kept conditioning, kept lifting weights, you know, kept on the nutrition side. So and we practice. You know, we try to practice with a lot of effort. You know, at practice and practice. You know, we're not the type of team that's going to you know, practice in just shoulder pads. I mean, we go full pad practice, and you know, we try to simulate game speed. So, you know, our guys are used to playing it, or practicing at full speed. You know, trying to close the game ready as possible. And when you have guys that are playing both ways, you know, we have a few guys who play on both sides of the ball, never come off the field. You know, Dana, Carson, Rhett, you know, those 3, Rico, Zay, those guys never come off the field. So they're used to practicing at a level that it takes to be able to be game ready.
So the JV team will be playing at Hanahan on Thursday at 6 o'clock. There's a live feed of that game that Hanahan's putting together, and the link has been circulated. Our game, the varsity game, is going to be Friday night, 7:30 here at the Citadel. You can buy your tickets online, and we'll also be doing a live feed of that game, and we'll send out a link for it as well. Coach, good luck this week.
Yeah, it's going to be. We're glad to be home. You know, we're here. We've been practicing here at the Citadel. You know, it's fortunate. You know, we get to have this field and call it our home field this year, and we've been able to come down and practice here a few times and kind of get familiar with the surroundings. So look forward to being here Friday night. It'll be a good atmosphere. You know, our fans have done a great job. You know, we've sold out our tickets. You know, our allotment. You know, of our away games, and now we got a few weeks here at home. It's senior night. You know, get to honor our seniors, and you know, it's a special night for them. One they'll remember, their parents will remember. So you know, I told those guys. You know, it's been a long ride for them to get here, and this is a night to celebrate their senior night, and you know, a night that we're playing for a championship. You know, we get to, you know, have a championship kind of atmosphere here in the stadium, with you know, Hanahan being 2-0 and us being 2-0 in the region. So we're you know, it's a big night for us, and we're looking forward to it. But it's something that our players have earned. You know, they've earned this opportunity, and you know, I know they're looking forward to the game. So good night to honor them, and good night to be our first home game.
Great. Best of luck to you and the team on Friday, and we'll see you then. And
absolutely.
Again, we'll be back here next week.
Yes,
Good
sir.
luck.
All right.
I'm a shark, bite like a great white. I'm a shark, bite like a great white. I'm a shark, bite like a great white. Gas, no brakes, I'ma take mine. My team looking like we got 6 rings. Back up all the shit, I'm talking all big things. My team looking like we got 6 rings. Back up all the shit, talking all big things. I'm a shark, bite like a great white. I'm a shark, bite like a great white. I'm a shark, bite like a great white. Gas, no brakes.